You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the November 7th meeting of the LaPorte County Alcoholic Beverage Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good morning to everyone. This is the Alcohol Beverage Board of LaPorte County, Indiana. We are calling the meeting to order this morning. Let the record reflect. This is the meeting of the LaPorte County Alcoholic Beverage Board, this 7th day of November 2024. The members of Board 1, which is going to be going first today, are myself, Matt Sikorsky, LaPorte County.
Rodney McCormick, LaPorte County.
Scott Melland, LaPorte County.
And Michelle Trevor, State Excise Police.
Okay, are there any persons here who wish to voice opposition to any permits on the agenda today? Seeing none. Will all persons in attendance seeking a new permit, requesting a change of location or ownership, or seeking a renewal after violation, please stand and raise your right hand. Okay, do you each of you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the answers that you have given on your application or any testimony today you may give in response to any questions asked by this board to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You can be seated.
Okay. Beginning on the board for automatic renewals, we have Four Stop Bar, Renee's Cafe, Bridges Waterside Grill, Dollar General Store, Phil's Health Mart Pharmacy, and Panini. I will take a motion for those renewals.
Motion to approve the renewals.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next we have for a renewal after a violation, the Three Sheets Bar and Grill. Please come forward. Oh, I'm sorry. That is RR 4601887.
Let's go back.
No. Can you state your name, please?
Cheryl Sheets.
And you are the owner.
Yes.
So this was an alcohol compliance check that occurred back in October of last year, so just over a year ago. It looks like you were renewed in November because the violation hadn't been processed.
And I hadn't gotten anything yet because I came last year and you said I don't see anything yet, so.
Yep, and I remember, that's why I wrote this down and I was very confused. I was like, did we hear it or did we not hear it? Because I do remember. You paid a $1,000 fine.
Yes.
So do you want to tell the board kind of what happened I know it's been a while.
Yeah,
and then what kind of has taken place
I
to
remember
make
exactly
sure
what happened. I mean, I was not there at the time. And my bartender just said that she was very busy. She served the girl. The girl went up to the gambling machine, bought some tickets, came back, and then excise came in. And she said, you know, I teach the class. I'm certified in teaching the class. I tell my bartenders, 45 years or younger looking, card. I don't know what else I can do. Mm-hmm. Besides, I'm almost to the point where, do I have to work all the shifts? I mean, because I don't know what else to do to get them to card except find them myself, you know, and I don't know, do they get fined?
They do, but it's minimal. Yeah. Does she still work for you?
Yes, she does, and she's a wonderful bartender.
How long has she worked for you?
She's worked for me for probably about 3 years.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
So, and I mean, the crying, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean,
It's not funny at all,
No.
but
and
I get
I
it.
think she learned her lesson, but I mean, I have to find them now too, because I can't stress enough. I mean, and teaching the class, making them read, posting, card.
Yeah, because $1,000 is
yeah.
a lot for a small business owner.
It is a lot. And now with having to have the liquor liability, that was another $8,000 I had to pay this year for that. But
Yeah.
Was that as a consequence of the violation?
no, it's just a new law in the state of Indiana. They've imposed that where the bars have to have a minimum of $500,000 liquor liability. So, and unfortunately, at this point, the only policy I could find was $1 million policy. So, hoping by next year, I'm going to get it down a little bit.
Yeah. No, thank the legislators for that one.
Yeah.
I don't have.
Is there any supervisor there besides her?
I'm there all the time. I get there at 6:30 in the morning and open. I'm usually there till about 11. I go home and do my paperwork, and then I'm usually back by like 4:30 or 5, and I stay till like 9. I mean, I only have.
So the only corrective action you took was to just speak with her and told her.
I spoke with her, and I did tell her, and I told my other employees, if this ever happens again, they're paying half the fine, or they can quit. I mean, that's the two choices. They can pay half my fine, or they can quit.
So your policy is to card those that appear under 45?
Anybody under 45. And that's pretty much what excise says too. If they look under 45, 45 or under card.
Do you see your people doing that?
Yes, I see my people very vigilant in carding, because, and, you have the people that say, oh, I know them, they're old enough. No. And I don't care if they do look old enough. If you don't have an ID on you, I mean, everyone should have an ID on them. So, and they are very vigilant. And I did feel bad for her that day because she's very good about that.
And people make mistakes, and I think sometimes they just get complacent with their job, and then something like this is a big wake-up call for them. So,
well, she said she was very busy, and but still, that's no excuse. That's no excuse.
Right.
Do we have any other prior history?
I don't think so. You haven't had any violations for quite a while,
Oh no,
right?
it was probably in the first, I think, 2 years that my husband and I owned the place, and now we've had it for 21 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally legal.
And there have been no further violations?
No, nothing since then. Nope. So it's been a year and a month, 13 months that they had a violation.
So what's the allegations? Selling to underage?
It was the alcohol compliance check. So the excise officer escorts the minor in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, the other thing I would say is suggested you may want to actually put that in your employee handbook stating that, if for some reason you do not follow our rules or this and this, card everyone under 45 no matter what. If that does not happen, these are the consequences. And you have to at least, it's nice to tell them and they understand it, but if it's not spelled out in your policy book, someone can say, well, I never heard that.
Right.
So that's just a suggestion.
Well, I actually plan on posting it so that my bartenders can even point to it if the customer has a problem.
Yes.
I would never have a problem if you carded me.
Right. Me neither.
Maybe even an internal policy of if they failure to card, it's a $10 or $20 fine to the bartender. I don't know if that's even a good idea or not, but it gives you some leverage maybe.
Yeah, I think I would make it more because they make really good money. I think they make more money than I do.
Probably with less responsibility.
Yeah.
Take a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good luck.
Okay, thank you
Thanks for
very
coming.
much. Thank you for the suggestions.
What's the lunch special this week or today?
Today it's Swedish meatballs, and I don't know exactly what he's serving it with. Tomorrow's pepper steak, and we always have meatloaf on Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Okay, next we have DL 4632624, Amico. Anyone from them?
There is not going to be anyone here today for this permit or the following permit, Fish Lake Market, DL 4632897. Their attorney that represents them was unable to make it. And I already had encounters with him on a similar location over in St. Joe County about a week and a half or so ago. So he sent me a letter. I met with him after the hearing, and he basically, I'll pass this around to you guys, but he says, thank you for taking time to meet with me. I'm sending this letter as a follow-up. The issue at hand on these two locations, as you know, the IC code classifies permits that are used by a convenience store or grocery, requires their gross alcohol sales to be less than 25% of their total gross sales, excluding gas and automotive oil products. So when applying for the 3 renewals, these two plus this other one on board 2, they obtained the initial sales figures for the convenience stores from the owner, but the sales didn't fit under the 25% requirement. He thought it was unusual, but they're usually between 3 and 10%. So he went ahead and turned in those sales figures. Well, the ATC had caught them and said, hey, these aren't right. Did you transpose them or something? Because the food and the alcohol were grossly wrong. So he said, oh, I don't know, maybe so. Let me look into it. So he sent in an amended forms. The amended forms were still kind of not quite accurate. So I questioned him again. I'm like, look, what is going on? So basically, I'll pass this around to you, but what he did then was met with the accountant for this corporation and sat down with them. They went through all of the purchasing records and the sales records and, basically the markup, blah, 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 and came up with accurate numbers now that I think are in that letter. So they are all well under 25% sales.
Under 10%.
Is that what he says? Under
The highest
10?
is 9.32.
Okay. So he said going forward, they're working with the accountant and maybe even the POS system to try to separate that out at the point of sale so that they have more accurate records, or that the accountant can break that down further. So next year when they go to renew and file those figures, they should be accurate from the get-go and not have to go through all this. But he, like I said, he did say that he met with, which I don't think it's in that letter, but he did meet with the accountant and sat down. He said, I had a crash course on QuickBooks 101 and we figured this out and everything. So he's an attorney. He used to work for the ATC actually, so he's aware of what the 25% rule is. And, yes, it would be highly unlikely that a convenience store would actually be doing that much sales.
I will note, even this letter, he says these are essentially an estimate because he had to work backwards from invoices. Because
Yes.
they don't have a key program for alcohol sales.
Right,
Which seems a fundamental flaw.
right.
Especially if they're gonna have multiple
Right, right.
locations, selling alcohol,
Yeah.
you'd wanna have that on your,
You got multiple problems at every location like this, correct?
right.
Yes, yes.
And the
So-
attorney notified him that he needs to program a key and train his staff.
Because that's what we told him at the St. Joe board meeting, that, hey, you need to do
I
something
don't need to see
different.
it.
Okay, that you need to do something differently, because he said it took him several hours, him and the accountant together, to get those figures. So that he's faithful that they're pretty accurate, so.
And you're saying you trust the attorney basically based on his history.
I do. I think he put forth the effort. Like, I gave him, because I had been in communication with him, like, this ain't right. And he's like, these have always went through. And I'm like, well, they're not going through now. Like, so, and he's like, oh, well, let me look at it. And then he looked at it and said, oh, wait a minute, you know. So I think he did put forth the effort to make it right.
So we're continuing these?
So yes, we can continue with them today, if you're satisfied with the letter on that the food sales are, that the alcohol sales is less than 25%. That was the only issue, was that they can't have a grocery permit if they're selling more than 25% of alcohol, because then they become a liquor store, not a grocery store. But I'm convinced that they're definitely selling less than 25%. Could be 20 for all we know, but I'm sure it's less than 25. So
I just, I wish they would have came here and explained that to us, one. And two, we talk about the issues that we need to do, take care of certain things, make sure it don't happen again. I want to know that for sure that that's been put in place or it's already been achieved. So we won't have to keep dealing with it over and over again. That's where I'm sitting with it on that. I just want that to be on the record.
yeah, and I will tell you that our discussion at the St. Joe hearing on one of the locations was that they probably won't implement this until like January 1st. Otherwise, the figures are gonna, whatever. But we can always give them a 1-year only renewal so that we can make sure they come back on the agenda next year and we can review the figures again. At that point, then we would know if they implemented the system and if the figures are correct.
Well, I move for a 1-year renewal.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And that's on both locations, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, has everyone had a chance to review the minutes for Board 1?
Motion to approve minutes for Board 1.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adjourn Board 1, please.
I'll make
Motion
a
to adjourn.
I'll
Board
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Board 1 is adjourned.
17. Okay. Good morning. I am Lisa Daniel King with Board Number 2, and my board members are
Rodney McCormick, LaPorte County.
Matt Sikorsky, LaPorte County.
And Michelle Trauber, State Excise Police.
Okay, so today we have license number DL 4631773 for Pine Lake Expo, and that is what we were just discussing.
Yes, the same
So-
situation with the food sales.
So can I get a motion to recommend a 1-year renewal?
I'll make that motion.
Yes.
All in-
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so motion carries. And the next one that I have is Hampton Inn. And we have to have an automatic renewal, or not renewal, extension on the continuation on that one.
They did not post the orange sign correctly. They also marked in they only posted it 7 days out. It has to be posted 10 days out by law. And I basically explained to them, like, they posted it when I was there doing the inspection, but I said, if you try to sign off on the affidavit, you're perjuring yourself. So just don't do it. Let's continue it until December. They marked in the application that they were within 200 feet of a church or school, but I think that was an error, and I think that's going to be amended. So,
Yeah.
because there's no churches or schools out there. I
No.
think they misread the question. But that was my initial note. So, yeah.
Move to table this until December meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a first and second. Motion on the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes for last month's meeting?
Motion to approve the minutes from Board 1 from last month.
Board 2.
Board 2, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
I'll second the amended motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
What location are
Yeah.
you here for?
Renee's Cafe.
That was renewed the first round?
Okay,
Did you hear it?
no?
Oh, I heard that, but when Because I called several times and left a message to find out what was going on. What happens when my wife passed away, because she always filled out the paperwork.
Okay,
So she had filled it, she passed away December 3rd of '22. Well, my license expired on the November 7th, so it was already, paperwork was done for the following year. Well, then when I filled it out, it was done as Renee's Cafe, doing business as Renee's Cafe, so I put a copy of the death certificate in with it and put it in my name, since the building's in my name, everything else is in my name. Well, anyway, I got a letter coming back, saying that I didn't fill it out properly. Well, then I called to try and find out what I wasn't doing right. So then I made it out twice. I made it out another copy of it in my name, another one, because
1 second, please. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Motion to adjourn board number 2.
I'll second it.
Okay. And 20.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.